Let's fire up the Worryometer for a few pitchers and rank some stuff next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. Make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. And as always, just a reminder that you can leave a 5-star review on Apple if you enjoy the podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 21st. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White, and we fire up the Worryometer. 10, we are freaking out, very concerned. 1, all right, this guy's going to be all right. Not so much concern here. How about for Zach Plesac, Scott, who allowed 6 earned runs over 5 innings pitched against the White Sox on Tuesday? He has now allowed 12 earned runs over his last 2 starts. What do you think?
So I'm going to put this at a 4, which is actually pretty high given the level of investment you had in Plesac. I do have some concerns here. 2 home runs in this game, but actually they were solo home runs. So he just got knocked around in general 2 starts in a row. That's happened against the White Sox. His first 2 starts were really good, though. And in fact, the second start was great. So that's worth keeping in mind. And I actually do like that in this most recent start Tuesday, he got his pitch selection closer to what we saw in 2020 when he had that breakout. He wasn't leaning so much on the fastball like he did in his first 3 starts. That was only 30% of the time. Used those secondary pitches more, had a good whiff rate. I think those are positive signs. But also the fact he didn't walk anybody, that's good too. But yeah, there's still some questions as to how legitimate that 2020 was. And if his next start is another stinker, I think you bench him for the time being.
How about Luis Castillo, Scott? Off to a slow start. Many people invested in him as a top 12 starting pitcher entering this season. Going up against the Diamondbacks on Tuesday, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs. Only 1 of those were earned. Only 4 strikeouts as well. It's been a tough start to the season, Scott. So where are you at on Luis Castillo?
So he's probably like a 3. Obviously more of a track record there than Plesac, but there are some reasons for concern. His velocity hasn't been nearly as bad as in his initial start in the cold temperatures. But it's not all the way back to where it was last year where we're used to seeing it. And he hasn't been getting the whiffs we're used to seeing from him either. Usually he's elite as far as that goes. He's been less than that. He's also an extreme ground ball pitcher, which is normally a good thing. But for a team that just established it's going to play Eugenio Suarez at shortstop, basically out of position at shortstop, not so great for an extreme ground ball pitcher. If Castillo gets those whiffs up to where we're used to seeing him, it may not matter so much. But right now, in his current state, it's causing him problems.
And I will point out that Castillo is typically a slow starter in his career, a 4.53 ERA in the month of April, which is by far the most of any month for his career. Again, Luis Castillo, the name there. Let's rank some stuff, Scott. Nick Solak was really good on Tuesday. He hit his 4th home run, and he has 3 homers over his last 8 games. How would you rank Jazz Chisholm, Nick Solak, Nick Madrigal, and Garrett Hampson in Roto leagues?
I would go Chisholm easily number 1, Solak 2, and I'm actually going to put Hampson ahead of Madrigal for Roto leagues, hoping for the big steals output we've seen from Hampson so far. I don't trust the bat. Madrigal right now, though, he's delivering on the batting average, hardly striking out, but it's such an empty batting average, only 1 steal so far, batting low in the lineup. He's not really helping with runs and RBI at all, and certainly he's not going to hit for power. So it's just such a low impact player that I'm going to put Madrigal last of that group.
How about another second baseman, but more useful for points leagues, I would say. Tommy La Stella went 1 for 4, hit his first home run of the season on Tuesday. He has led off 4 straight games for the San Francisco Giants. He is 49% rostered on CBS. Scott, in a points league, Tommy La Stella, Jed Lowry, and Joey Wendell. How would you rank those 3?
Lowry 1, again, a pretty easy number 1. I'm gonna go La Stella over Wendell. La Stella's basically sitting against left-handers right now, so that's a problem. But such a low strikeout guy, and I think as the season plays out, we'll see him start to get more at bats in that Giants lineup. While Wendell might have trouble continuing the amount of bats he's gotten so far. I'm thinking specifically when Wander Franco comes up, and I just think La Stella's a better player as well.
Buster Posey went 3 for 4 with a double dong. That is 2 home runs, and he is 60% rostered. How would you rank Yadier Molina, Buster Posey, Wilson Ramos, and Omar Narvaez?
I would go Molina, who's still playing a ton and still producing, even at his very old age. Then I'll go Wilson Ramos over Posey because, there's some encouraging signs from Posey, but he's sitting literally every third game, which is a lot of sitting. And unless that changes, it's going to be hard for him to be a top 8, top 10 catcher in fantasy. So those three at the top, Narvaez bringing up the rear.
Just wrap up with some news here. The hits keep on coming for the Washington Nationals. Juan Soto placed on the 10-day IL with a left shoulder strain. Mookie Betts not in the lineup on Tuesday for the Dodgers. He is dealing with a forearm issue. He got hit by a pitch late on Monday night. Ronald Acuna was held out of the Braves lineup on Tuesday with an abdominal strain. And Mike Moustakas was placed on the 10-day IL with a non-COVID related illness. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.